In this video, we will be walking you through the steps required in creating a package, importing it, and subsequently we'll be showing you the execution of a few test cases as well. Now, in order to create a package, first you need to create a folder, and here I've created a folder named graphs. If I open this, this contains two major files. One is this underscore underscore init underscore underscore dot py file, which basically can be left empty or can contain initialization code. Here we have just inserted some comments that tells the user how to import this particular function if the user wishes to. And eda.py file contains the actual code which we have designed and shown in the previous videos and the versions that we created. This is the latest version. So what we have done in this code is that we have segregated out all the modifications that we made in the previous versions, and we've created functions for each of the same. As you can see that we have a check column index, check directory, a generate categorical graphs, which is a scatter matrix functions that separately define the functionality. The logic on the other hand remains the same, and now we'll be showing you how to import the package, and we'll show you execute some test cases as well.
So instead of calling the function and again, I'll import this package. So in order to generate the plots, so I'll import this and then I'll use this empty cast data set in this data. We stored this in the data frame variable. Now I'll just call this function.
So after importing the empty cast dataset into a data frame, we'll execute our first test case. And in this, we are passing only the data frame as the parameter. And let's just check the folder once. You can see that there's no output here. There are no PNG files. So on executing, as you can see that it started plotting graphs for all the variables contained in the dataset. And on checking the folder, we can see that has created the box plot and histograms for all the numerical variables and a bar graph for the categorical variable. I'll just delete all the output files and go back to the code once again. So this is
In this second test case, I'll pass the column index because I wanted to print the generate the box plots and histograms of the first, second, third, and fourth column only. So I'll execute this piece of code and it will generate the graphs for these four variables, and in the output we can also see that the box plot and the will be generated. Now since it doesn't have a categorical variable, so the bar charts will not be there. Now I'll delete this and we'll go to the next test case.
So in a third test case, we have specified the column index as well as the directory. As you can see that the directory plots has not been created. And so if you remember, what a program does is automatically creates the folder, execute it. You can see that the same four variables are plotted, and it creates. Now we can see that the plots folder contains all the four .jpg files that contains the box plot and the histograms for the variables. Moving on to the next test case. We have specified the column index that is not there in the data frame, and it should generate an error according to our code. So on running that, you can see specifically that it gives you an output message that there is no column present in the dataset for the given index. And going on to the output folder, for the rest of the variables, the respective bar graphs or the box plot and histograms have been plotted.
the last test case, we have given an additional parameter, that scatter matrix, which is equal to true. That will generate a scatter matrix of all the variables present in the data frame. So if when I'll execute this piece of code, so we'll get this column error again because the 23 column is not present in the data frame. And but when we see in the output, we'll get a scatter matrix apart from all the box plots and histograms and bar graphs. We get the scatter matrix also for the other variables.
To conclude, this module contains the final version of the code that we created, that contains all the modifications that we discussed until now. And this by no means is the final version, as it can be further enhanced by adding more functionalities or optimizing the code